Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today I am getting on Ingleside Road. I just got off of the Greasy Ridge Road, and I wanted to talk about Ingleside a little bit more, but mostly this video is Oakvale. I'm going to talk a lot about Oakvale. To the right, as soon as I turned on this road, across the road is the Bray Cemetery, and there's another cemetery, I believe it's called the Tiller Cemetery. And this area was known as Hardy, a little unincorporated little community. Now, I never referred to it as Hardy, but I've found that it is known as Hardy. Now, we are driving to the right of the railroad tracks. We will be crossing over, the railroad will be going under a train trestle. It'll be a cute little train trestle, and the railroad will end up on the left of us. But also on the right of us right now is the East River, and of course that's the East River Mountain over to the right also. So this video is basically dedicated to me talking about Oakvale. I basically stopped the video at the end of where the road forks. You can stay right and go through a little bit more of Oakvale onto Kellysville, or you go left where you see a huge train trestle and it goes to the Oakville School back towards 460. And that's where the video stops. Now, on the way here, there are two cemeteries over on the left, and you can't see them from the road. Actually, there's three cemeteries. The first one is the Brinkley Cemetery, and then there's the Reed Cemetery. It's also over here on the left. You cannot see them, but they're there. At the end of the video, the Oakville Cemetery is over on the left also, basically where I shut off the video. So it's a larger cemetery. So now we're going to talk about Oakvale just a little bit, or for probably most of this video. It is probably the smallest incorporated town in West Virginia, and it was originally named Frenchville with basically because the people in the area last names were French. I'll mention a couple of those later on. Of course, I mentioned it's right beside the railroad, and of course that was Norfolk and Western and Virginia Railways back in the day. Oakville derived its name around 1881 at the time of the construction of the Norfolk and Western Railway, from the magnificent oak trees growing in the valley. And you can tell by this road, it is a valley. We're just at the base of the mountain, and it doesn't really go up hills or down hills. It's basically flat, just some curves. And I hope you can see this over on the right. You'll be able to see it more over on the left in a few minutes after we go through underneath the train trestle. But we are driving beside the tracks, and there is a train moving on the tracks. So I'm glad we got that in the picture here, or in this video. Early traces of Oakville's founding and settlement around 1775 to Peter Dingus and his son Charles. The estate was passed to David French and Colonel Napoleon B. French, whom the settlement is named for. History relates that Peter Dingus opened approximately 2,800 acres of real estate, and here Colonel French built a store and established a post office known as Frenchville, Virginia, in 1850. When the post office was established, there were only two houses, a corn mill, and a blacksmith shop in the area. The first postmaster was David Bolton, a carpenter by trade. He formulated a plan and constructed Frenchville Church, and now its new location, it is known as the Oakville United Methodist Church. Growth and progress came basically with the infiltration of pioneers to the Mercer and Monroe and Giles County areas, which of course Giles County is in Virginia, and along with the development of the railway system, which escalated Oakville to the hub for lumbering and industry of the area. Prominent families among these pioneer settlers were L.L. Hearn, R.A. Bogus, sorry about that, D.A. Johnson, L. Goodwin. Now, we've mentioned Goodwins before. L. Good, remember that from a couple videos ago? We are just so close by to that area. let's see, who else? There was the Gordons, the Boyds, and the Shoemates, the Whites. I mentioned Whites on the past video, as there was a White School Road back there on that Greasy Ridge Road. But all contributed to the growth and the productivity of the area and creating industry, the construction of the new homes and businesses, the church and the school, and the promotion of the lumber industry, along with the railroad and mercantile businesses, all serving the southern sector of the county. Of general interest to Mercer Countyans, the interment of the body of Captain William Smith is in Oakville Cemetery. And like I said earlier, Oakville Cemetery is basically at the end of my video, just to the left. And Captain Smith was the first sheriff of Mercer County and donated the land, the present site of the Mercer County Courthouse in Princeton. So that's a little bit of an interesting fact for you all, who donated the land for the courthouse. Oakville, at the completion of the Virginian Railway, was incorporated in 1907. So there's a little bit of information for you all, and of course this road ties into all the other roads I've been doing in the area. The 3-part series I did of Elgood, the last one that I just released yesterday, the Greasy Ridge Road with Elmore, the Goodwin Chapel Road that I'll have coming out here shortly, next couple days or so. I will be coming back down here in the area. I want to go into Kellysville, talk about Willowton. There's a lot of neat little roads down and through here. And of course, I've got to go into Virginia because I will be going to Glen Lynn, Rich Creek, Nemours, and Parisburg and doing videos of those areas too. That's been requested, so I definitely want to do that. Now, since I had mentioned Oakville Cemetery, let me go into a little bit more detail about it. This cemetery is one of the oldest cemeteries in Mercer County, and there's a lot of burials there. There's over 600 named burials, and that's with tombstones and different things, with dates and names on them that you can actually read. But there are over 100 very old graves with plain fieldstone markers at each grave that do not have names or dates. It is thought that some of these that were buried here were slaves, and even some were Indians. And like I said earlier, the cemetery is to the left of this stop sign. It's kind of more across from Oakville High School, so I'll mention it again in my next video. But it does have Revolutionary War soldiers buried in the cemetery. So that is really neat for this area, especially for Oakville. Well, that's about all I have to talk about today. We're coming close to the end. Like I said, I'm stopping right here at this stop sign. The road goes to Kellysville going that way, and of course, here's the train trestle I was talking about. This is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you all later.